Hi, this is Brecken Lee, and this is my service learning project for fall of 2025. It is covering my experiences at the home cross country meets that I help serve at. A little bit of background information. At our cross country meets, all of the track athletes volunteer to run the meet in service to our athletic department at DBU, our cross country teammates, and also the other teams who come and compete at their meets. Jobs entail many different things, such as the following cart, which is my job. You pick up all the injured athletes and you will take them to the medical tent if they are unable to finish the races. Or there are packing up jobs, cleaning, a lot of jobs helping make the meets run smooth. There's a lot of different details in that, but my job was in the following cart. It's not a very glamorous job, but it is definitely very necessary in order to help athletes remain healthy or get them the help they need as soon as possible. So it's definitely a job that allows you to put others' needs before your own, which is something that we'll kind of be talking about. In chapter 3, on pages 72 to 95, it talks about ethics and social responsibility. Managers and leaders must act ethically and consider the impact of their decisions on stakeholders. So this is like providing security, belonging, recognition, or growth opportunities. That's how we were able to see that in the cross country meet. There's this responsibility in serving when injured, ensuring that there is like fairness amongst everything, and that the coaches will model volunteers. The coaches and volunteers model ethical leadership by creating safe, inclusive environments where everyone can serve. In chapter 12, on pages 370 to 395, it talks about motivation and performance. In our textbook, we talked about Maslow, and we talked about his basic need, or the levels of needs, which start at basic, safety, social, esteem, self-actualization, with basic obviously being at the very bottom of that pyramid. Leaders inspire effort by figuring out which level an employee is on and helping them meet those needs. And a way that I saw this at our meet was by encouraging athletes who were both racing and those who were unable to finish. I was able to help boost their confidence if they were racing, or also just to give them those basic needs that Maslow was talking about. And it helps foster teamwork within our team of runners at DBU. In chapter 13, it talks about leadership on pages 410 to 435. Leadership is an influence, motivating vision, and servant-minded / servant-hearted action, not just an authority. I was able to model servant leadership by serving despite my injury, aiming to show resilience and humility. The coaches demonstrated leadership by guiding athletes and fostering teamwork. Leading is not just by your words, but also by your example, and I was able to see that just in the way that everyone was running this meet. People were just not focusing on themselves, but focusing on others, and others would follow because that's just a very inspiring way to lead. Finally, the personal impact that this service had on me. Working at the cross country meet taught me that leadership is about empathy and encouragement, not authority. Personally, I grew in resilience by serving despite my injury and understanding that everyone can serve. Our coach often has told us that it's not about us, but rather about God and each other. We are not a cruise ship here to serve ourselves, but rather a battleship here to fight for each other. I saw how small acts of support can motivate others, and that is how I saw it at the cross country meet. And then professionally, this experience will guide me to lead with humility, collaboration in management, marketing, and entrepreneurship, always focusing on empowering those around me to use the gifts God has given them to better the company. So not just looking at myself, kind of like we were saying in the last slide, but rather to look at others, see what they can help us with, but also see how we can help them by empowering them to use the gifts that God has given them.